So, JV, you were saying that the thing that you are most interested in is to find out the size of the market for loans to buy two-wheelers.
You have to start with two-wheelers first, then loans.
First two-wheelers. Okay.
I want to understand how many people will buy two-wheelers.
Okay.
Then we'll find out how many of those people will buy it loan.
We'll take loans.
We'll take loan to buy.
Okay.
So, new two-wheelers, not
New two-wheelers.
Okay. So, who is going to buy new two-wheelers? How do you find out? So,
Okay.
that's a problem which is called addressable market sizing.
Okay.
So, you want to find out what is the addressable market, how to size it.
Okay.
So, you have to ask some questions, I guess. The way it goes
Okay.
is you'll have to ask some questions and then try and.
Okay.
First, we'll make some assumptions. Then you have to get data actually. If you have data,
Sure.
then you can do. We have some data, I think.
Some
we'll
data
look at
we
data.
have.
If you don't have data, then you go into a survey and
Okay.
get the data. That's how it works. So, to start with, where do you start? Right? You have to start with the population.
Okay.
So, let's say that you have
Population of India, or you take some subset?
It depends on whether you're selling in all India or you're making a scooter only for regional market. You could say I'm making a scooter only for Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
It makes a difference because if you say I'm only interested in selling scooter for Tamil Nadu, you'll have to advertise in the local channels in Tamil Nadu, Tamil channels.
No,
You'll
I
try-
was thinking
you'll try and
slightly
create a-
differently.
We'll look at India. right
Only 18 to 60-year-olds will probably drive scooters, is what I was thinking. So,
No.
do we?
People who are used. I've seen somewhat older people who are used to driving only scooter will drive scooter also.
So,
It's habit
18
forming.
plus. 18 plus will
Of
drive.
course, you need to have driving license.
Correct. Correct.
So, we'll see. I think we need, so one corroborating piece of information is how many people have driving license. If they don't have driving license, they can't have scooter. Of course, there are these categories called mopeds.
Yes.
We'll ignore that.
Okay.
Moped category is like cycle, right?
Hmm.
In a sense.
Correct.
You don't need license.
Correct. Correct.
We'll ignore that. We're talking about scooters for which you need a two-wheeler driving license.
Okay.
So, one piece of information we could get
Hmm.
is by asking RTO office or.
So, I'll just write down.
Right. Number of two-wheeler licenses that are there.
Two-wheeler.
More than that, because we are interested in finding out two-wheeler licenses that have been already issued.
And then?
And you can find out how many are being issued
New. Okay.
every year
Okay.
or every month even. Okay.
Let me just.
So, statistics on two-wheeler license issues. And which region they're issuing more two-wheeler licenses. Those are the regions where two-wheelers have been bought.
Correct. That is a fair point.
So, this is one piece of information.
Number-
I don't know where we'll get it from. At least our data doesn't have that.
No.
But I guess this you get by talking to RTO.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? RTO officers.
Being.
It's a government record anyway. This is not secret information or anything.
No. So, here, what do you want? You want.
We want to know its breakup.
New two-wheeler licenses. Right?
Yeah.
So, what should I do? So, this is clearly done some.
Number of new two-wheeler licenses.
Being issued. And then we
You can
want.
increase the size a little bit so that it's easier to see, I think. No?
I have increased it. 140 it is.
140. Okay.
Breakup of.
By
Breakup by.
geography and other things.
State. Huh?
Yeah.
State.
Income group.
Income group, how will the RTO won't have that information, no?
Won't have, no? State will be there. State, okay. State is good. State is good to start with. State. Regional wide. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is one. Okay, I mean, we went off sidetracked, I think.
Hmm.
The main thing basically is you start with some population.
Okay.
Let's say we have a population of 100. Start with that. 100 means 100%. So, start with population 100. Total population 100. Total number of people is 100. Of these, you want to find out who will buy two-wheelers, right? So, where do you start? I would say you should start with people who are traveling. Why do you have two-wheeler? You have traveler because you want to travel. Just like if you say how many people are thirsty, you will look for Coca-Cola if you want to sell. Like
Yes.
you look at how many people are thirsty, of which how many will drink water, or like that you go. Like that, you have to start with something. You're starting with traveling.
So, what do you mean by that? So, people who spend money on traveling.
So, how many people spend money on traveling? And then they can spend money on traveling for many reasons. One is that they spend money on traveling because they have to go to office. Such people, like gig worker, if you have a Swiggy driver, you need to have a two-wheeler. It's necessary for your job. So, person who travels to office, who don't mind spending money on buying a two-wheeler, because it's very productive to have a two-wheeler. Okay, and then there are people who will buy it for leisure, for traveling on weekends, only for leisure, right? So that is another. Now, of those people who travel, there are many modes, ways of going.
Correct.
You can go by train, bus, and all that. You can do that.
Correct.
So public transport.
Hmm.
So how many of these? Of these, how many people travel by public transport? How many people travel by what is the trend of public transport travel also? By public transport, is that percentage increasing, decreasing? That is another thing you have to understand. Like for example, US, the public transport percentage has decreased, right? When more people travel by their own vehicle, so that shows that vehicle sales have increased. Whereas in India, it might be increasing. For example, in the city of Chennai, metro has come.
Yes.
More people will prefer to metro. So
Yes.
maybe they'll even give up their two-wheelers.
Yes.
Huh? We don't know.
I don't know if they'll give up, but certainly daily commutes.
At least they won't do it for office. They will do it
Yes.
for leisure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then okay, that is another thing.
And therefore, the kind of vehicle they buy may be different.
Maybe different.
Oh.
Yeah. If it's leisure, it might be different.
Correct.
It may not be two-wheeler, maybe
Correct.
car actually.
Correct.
What percentage of travel by public transport? So of the balance are basically two transport. Some of them will travel by car. So how many of this? How many by car? By four-wheeler, you say. If they have a four-wheeler, they are not going to buy. My assumption is that they are not going to buy. They may buy.
Not.
There will still be some percentage of them who buy two-wheelers.
Because two-wheelers generally do better in traffic than cars.
So they may buy. Car person might buy a two-wheeler also.
Correct.
More likely he will have a two-wheeler than he buys a car.
Yes.
That's the order in which it goes.
Correct.
But anyway, how many already own a car? Then you can say the rest basically are looking to buy a two-wheeler or they have a two-wheeler. So how many of them have two-wheelers already? Doesn't mean that they will not buy one, but the probability is lower. So now if you subtracted all this, then what is left basically is the people who are interested probably in buying two-wheeler. Possible, but they should have the income. We'll have to check the income now. Provided they can afford it. Can they afford it? We have to check.
Okay.
Affordability check means that do they have enough income? Do they have enough savings? If they don't have the savings, but they still have an income, they can borrow. Which is what we're interested in finally. Okay. Have the ability to borrow.
Ability means income, no? In
Income.
this case.
In this case is income, yeah. They have the ability to repay.
Correct.
Then they can borrow. So that is showing you affordability.
Sure.
So if you look at the affordable, you do the intersection of this, you will get possibly the number of people who may be interested in buying two-wheeler. But even if these people are interested in buying two-wheeler, they might decide to buy. Okay, again, I think it falls back also to the affordable question. They may decide, if it's the borderline affordability, to buy a second hand, not a new one. So you have to know the breakup of the market by first hand and second hand. You know, there is Spinny and all that, right, which sells second hand. So clearly there is a market for second hand. So hopefully the balance percentage is.
This is buying new.
Yeah, balance is now. Yeah, so this will be the way of calculating, one way of calculating addressable market.
Sure.
Of course, you will cross check this against many other things. What will you check? You have to cross check it. We already said driving license. If your number comes out too much higher than the rate at which driving licenses are being issued, or
Something is wrong.
something is seriously wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
It has to correlate with the past trend in two-wheeler sales.
Hmm.
Suddenly you are saying that 40% increase in two-wheeler sales is going to happen, whereas historically for the last 20 years,
So let me add
two-wheeler
that
sales has
here.
only happened at 10% increase annually. Something is wrong.
Let me add that here.
Okay.
So what did we say?
Check. These are all these things are checks.
Past trends in two-wheeler
Sales.
sales.
Right? You have to check that.
Hmm.
Then you have to check, it can't be way out of that.
Hmm.
Okay. Then you have to check, with your dealers, distributors and all. They'll know. See, you are doing some statistics, number crunching, Excel, but you have to have feet on the ground, no? So the feet on ground is talking to your dealers and distributors. Dealer distributor feedback. They can tell you, I mean, how many more are they going to push? If they say that I have pushed last year, I pushed 30,000 scooters. Next year, I think I can push 40,000 scooters.
Then you get
Then
some
you know,
sense.
You get a sense, okay, like that.
Sure.
So that is another. So all these things you have to do. If you do all this, then hopefully you get some percentage. You get some number.
So what?
You can write like for you got 100 here.
Hmm.
So of this, let's try just
Okay.
put some numbers. Of course, we have to validate by actually looking at the real sheets.
I think
I don't know whether the data
80% will travel.
80%. We saw some data. We'll see again. 80% will travel. I think. Yeah. Yes, I think so. Of which majority will travel for work. I think 70 maybe travel for work. 10 only for leisure. Okay. Then of this 80%, what percentage will travel by public transport? Half, 50, 60%. I don't know. I really don't know. Most of the two-wheeler penetration is actually low in India.
Is it?
I think so. Maybe like 20-30%. We'll find out if we have data.
So
I should say 70% is public transport.
So 70% of 70%.
Yes.
Which is like 49.
70 of 80, no? You can take both.
70 of 80. Okay. Yeah. So 70 of 80 is 56.
56. The reason why that we should split that between leisure and this thing is that leisure guys might buy a bigger vehicle, family vehicle and all that. So maybe more car type than scooter type. Okay. How many already own a car? Very small percentage own car. 10%. 5%. Yeah, 5%.
This you said 30, no?
How many already own? Yeah, out of 56, 30 you can take. Half maybe owning already. 30 maybe owning already.
28
you can take, yeah. Yeah. These are all guesses, no?
Yeah.
We'll validate.
We'll have to check.
We'll have to check. There's people who may be interested in buying two-wheeler is the rest.
So this is 23.
23.
Assuming that car.
Out of 100 people, 23 people are interested in buying two-wheeler. That is the addressable market. Not yet fully done because you have to cross lane. Check. Because if you see 23 out of 28, it's actually showing 100% increase. It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen next year.
Correct.
Right? Even though 23 may be buying, they'll take some time to buy.
Correct.
It's based on affordability or something. So of these, what percentage have enough savings to buy a two-wheeler? I really don't know.
That we
don't
don't
know. Tough one. I think many will be able to borrow. Let's say
So
5.
maybe we can say 5.
5. 5 may have savings. Another 5 may be willing to borrow. So it becomes 10 out of 23.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe 10 out of 100 people.
10% of the population is buying a two-wheeler. It's a lot. 140 crores, 14 crore two-wheelers. Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Very unlikely. We don't have that many two-wheelers.
So maybe some of our assumptions are wrong.
You should take it over 5 years maybe.
Maybe some of our assumptions are wrong also.
No, I think the number of two-wheelers will be 1 or 2 crores a year.
Is it? I see. So 14 crores banane ke liye, it will need
5 years.
10 years.
5 years.
No, so some of our assumptions could be wrong, and of course, we have just taken guesses,
But it's a way. I mean, we're just saying how to do it. Of these, how many will buy second hand?
Half.
Is it? Maybe. I don't think.
No? A lot of people buy second-hand two-wheelers, yeah.
But it's not equal to the new two-wheeler market. I don't
Okay.
think.
3?
3 out of 10.
So?
7 will buy new. Okay.
So 7 out of 100 people will buy a new two-wheeler.
According to our numbers.
According to our.
I think it's too optimistic, but yeah. Okay, this is a way to calculate addressable market.
Okay. Good.
You divide this by 5, maybe you get per year.
Maybe.
Maybe they buy it over 5 years.
Okay.
So you get 1.4 per year, which is a realistic. 1.4% of India's population, 140 crore. 1.4 is 1.5 into 4, 5 crore two-wheelers. I think the market for two-wheelers is a few crores of two-wheelers being sold every year.
So 1.4 into 1.4 is like
2.5 crores.
2.5 crores.
Not way off. The ballpark, it may be up by 100%, 50%, something. But it's there, somewhere there. Okay, we know a way. I mean, this is a way to calculate.
Sure.
So this is a addressable market calculation. Now you can see that any such calculation that we do of addressable market requires phenomenal amount of data.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So you need data for.
So some of this data I think we already have.
We already looked at also. We already looked at how many travel for work, and we tried to look at all that.
Work, I don't know if we had, but at least we know how many travel.
Yeah, we didn't ask that question.
No, but it's there. We can say people who spend money on travel.
No, but did they say whether they travel for work or not?
No,
they didn't.
That they did.
Hey, another thing, another factor. Go back to that sheet.
Okay.
Another factor is how far are they traveling for work?
Yes. Because if I am traveling 100 kilometers a day, then I won't take a two-wheeler.
No way they'll go by two-wheeler. They'll take public transport. How far
Where should I put that? Here.
How far, yeah. Of which how many percentage travel less than 20 kilometer to work or something?
50. 50? 50 is also too much.
50 is
less
too
than
much.
30
20 kilometers.
30 kilometers.
Then with 30 kilometers, you know how long it takes? 30 kilometers. Yeah, okay, 20 kilometers. Okay.
20?
20 kilometer for work.
Daily.
Daily.
I'll say just say daily.
Daily. No, that is, daily means up and down. Each way is 20 kilometers.
Okay. I'll say 40 kilometers daily.
Can say that.
Okay.
That is okay. Yeah. Those are the guys. Those are the guys who are likely to buy.
So let's see if we have some of this data. They have given, we know how many minutes they travel. We don't know how much distance they travel.
Okay.
But that also we can interpret. No, actually, if somebody is traveling 30 to 60 minutes, he's probably not going to take a two-wheeler.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you say so?
Maybe. How many people are 30 to 60 minutes? Let's find out.
Let's see.
Everybody is 30 to 60 minutes, we have nothing. No data at all. No interpretation. You're going to do a filter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this. Oh, so quite a few.
How many is that? What's the count?
$48 out of 100 travel less than 30 minutes.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll change our formula. Instead of saying 40 kilometers, say travel less than 30 minutes. It's a good proxy.
It's a good proxy. Yeah, it's a good proxy.
So we said 48, no?
40% of
48 of 100.
Of the, okay.
So we can also see how many people spend money on transport, no? Or here actually this, if I just include this, so this is now, so out of 62, 48 travel less than 30. 62 people we know for a fact travel.
It's not 80. It's 62.
No, no, that is because 38 people have not replied to the survey.
Oh, so all of them are traveling.
Of the people who responded, everybody seems to be
That's right.
traveling.
Okay.
No, actually, okay. So
Because
let's
that I think the
let's
question
ask
was
how
it
many.
was depends on how the question was framed.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see how many people travel less than 15 minutes.
Which is the same as 0.
3.
3. So 3 out of 62.
3 out of 62 means how much?
95% of the people are
95%.
traveling.
So let's go
So
change
80
our.
is not. It's 95.
Hmm?
So it's 95. At least from this survey.
Correct?
My. Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
So then this is be this into 0.7. No, we said what? 90% of these travel for work, no?
Yeah.
Huh?
90%. Yes, again. Yeah.
And then,
Yes.
correct? Of which, of this 95, how many travel?
Half of them are traveling by public transport or less than 30 minutes.
No, 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 no. Less than 30 minutes.
Half of them.
So 48 out of 62. 48
48
out of 62, no? Actually 45 out of 62.
are traveling less than 30 minutes.
Yeah. So I think, so here is how I calculated, okay?
70%.
This is, where was this? It was in the aspirational India data set. So out of that 42, we can assume that less than 15% basically don't travel. So it's 15 to 30 is what we should look at.
Yes.
15 to 30 is 45. 42, if 45 out of 62 travel in a distance range that a two-wheeler can support.
Which is 70, 45 and 62 is 6, 7, 42, 70%.
We will do that, no? So this is equal to 95 into 45 by about 69%. 69 people. Yeah, out 6.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of what percentage travel by public transport? So this.
That is the remaining balance.
No, no, no. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
No. So actually this data is there. No. So this data is there in that consumption patterns survey. If you go to consumption patterns, there is, I think, bus. There's a bus thing.
Oh, how much you spent on bus? Huh?
Yeah.
No, but okay. We don't know if they're spending it daily or.
Yeah, that is true.
We don't know whether they're going for leisure on bus. But anyway, it's a way. Yeah, it's a way of checking. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you see, actually, hold on. Let me remove all filters. So about 39 people
are traveling by bus.
Have spent some money on bus. Okay, out of a total of 61 people who responded to the survey. So 39 on 61 have spent some money on bus. We can assume that if somebody is traveling every day by bus, he is spending at least 200 rupees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will remove everybody who is spending less than.
Yeah, can remove it. Yeah. So some of them may be going by factory bus and all, we don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. All that you have to look.
Yeah.
But still.
But still, 19 people probably travel by bus.
Out of 61.
Out of 61.
So 30%.
30%.
Okay. Yeah, let's take that 30% public transport. I mean, we have to do a more scientific survey.
Correct. Could be wrong, but
this has to be done scientifically. We'll see how to do that. But
so we said 30%.
30% of.
No, 30% travel. Travel by bus. Okay.
So you can do that. 30% of 69 you can take.
Okay. So this I'll put 30% here, and this is.
No, of 69 only, no?
Yeah. Yeah. What did I do?
That's not. You have to make it in number format.
So 21 people out of 69
Ah,
travel by
bus.
bus.
So the remaining may
So remaining is 69 minus 21.
48 are remaining. Of that, 5 own a car. 28 already have two-wheeler. So now you have to subtract from 48, 5 and 28. Or 25.
Of course, hold on. So this data also we have.
Oh, how many own a car?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
We have the aspirational data set.
Yeah.
Okay. It will be small, I think. Okay.
So one.
Oh, it tells you which car also. Swift Desire and all. Okay.
6 out of 6 out of no, hold on. I should remove all filters, no?
This 99 is also there.
$62 out of 62, 6. So 10%.
So our 5 is not correct. 10 it is.
So no,
10%.
10% of 48. It's just 5.
Ah, wow.
Okay.
It's something, man.
Now we can also, this can also tell
That is
us
something.
how many own a two-wheeler.
Ah,
Huh?
already own a two-wheeler.
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
Okay. So out of 62, let us say how many own a two-wheeler. 46 out of 62 already own a two-wheeler.
Whew. Is that true? I
Looks
don't know
like.
in this data. Okay.
Looks like.
Okay, we'll take it.
Hmm?
I really don't think that many people have two-wheelers.
So this is out of this
You have nothing left.
46.
Become negative.
No, I don't think so. 35.
Oh, you took 46%.
No, I took 46 out of 62 already own a two-wheeler.
Oh, that percentage.
That percentage I took.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay. So
So
36.
36 out of 48 already own a two-wheeler.
Now you're left with 7.
7.
Ah. 7 on 100 want to buy two-wheeler.
May
want to buy. Provided they can afford.
Provided they can afford.
And that also split into some number of years.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, this
Okay.
seems reasonable. I think it looks like a number. Yeah.
Now this data, of course, we don't have in very good, because we know people have savings, but we don't know how much savings they have.
We don't have that.
That number we don't have.
Okay.
So now I don't know whether
and we know how many people are borrowing already. So that is another thing.
Yeah, but again, ability, how much, whether they have income to support an EMI, we don't know. So how do we get this data? This data cannot be answered with the two data sets that we have.
See, the way to do it is to run a survey. I think in all of these things, after you got this kind of level of, I think quite a lot of clarity you got. At this point in time, one should just do a custom survey. Either you run it with distributors, dealers, or you go directly with customers and do it.
Okay.
So you have to generate a custom survey asking very specific questions.
Okay.
Like, what is your income? Are you intending to buy a two-wheeler? If so, are you going to buy a new one? Are you going to buy a second-hand one? Will you take a loan for it?
How would you do that?
How much of a loan will you take for it? There are guys who create surveys for you.
I see. Okay.
Usually in every company there will be these guys marketing guys will basically know how to create surveys.
I see.
So they can do the survey. But suppose we want to do one. What do you suggest? What do we do? How do we create a survey?
How would we do that? We'll this ChatGPT I keep hearing.
We'll try.
You want to try it?
Let's try it. Go to ChatGPT.
Hmm.
We ask ChatGPT to make a survey for us.
OpenAI.com, no?
Org, I think.
Let's just search. .com.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You got a ChatGPT opened?
Yes.
Okay, so you
Alright.
ask ChatGPT, design a survey for me. Can you help me design a survey?
Okay.
Can you help me design a survey
I'll say I want to
to
estimate
uh,
how many people in India want to
take a loan?
take
Is it?
a loan to buy a two-wheeler.
Ah,
Can you please help me design a survey to gather this information?
yeah.
Is that okay? Is it prompt?
Let's start. I
Huh?
think we can improve it, no?
Okay.
We can ask a second prompt,
Sure.
no? I hope. What does it say? Crazy thing this survey, ChatGPT is. Two-wheeler, okay, it made a survey, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
Let's see if some of the questions that we had listed, it has also come up with, okay? I think.
Wow, it made something. What is it?
What is it saying? It wants some demographic information. Age, gender, occupation,
location.
monthly income
We
rate.
didn't ask all this, it's just found.
Yeah.
It's looked because people have made surveys.
Correct.
Crazy.
But the next one, actually, we did discuss, no?
Do you currently own a two-wheeler?
Yes.
If yes, what type of two-wheeler do you own? If no, how do wow, see that scooter, motorcycle, moped?
Correct.
If no, how do you we didn't tell it, man.
No.
We didn't tell ChatGPT.
No. This is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Hmm?
If no, how do you primarily commute? Public transport, car, bicycle, walking. See? Huh? Interest in buying a two-wheeler. Are you considering purchasing a two-wheeler in the next 6 months? Yes, no. If yes, what is the primary reason for considering a two-wheeler purchase? Daily commute, convenience, affordability. Wow. Huh?
Traffic conditions.
Traffic conditions. If you are considering buying a two-wheeler, are you planning to finance it with a loan? If no, what is the reason for not considering a loan? Can afford to pay in cash, prefer not to take loans, concerns about internet rates, uncertain financial situation, others. If you are considering a loan, what is the loan amount you are looking for? What loan duration are you comfortable with?
Wow. We had not
you hadn't even thought. Have you applied for a two-wheeler loan in the past? If yes, what was your experience like? Are you aware of various financial institutions and banks offering two-wheeler loans? Good God. Then, if yes, how did you come about to know about these loan options? TV advertisements, internet search, word of mouth. Is there anything specific you'd like? That's good. That's brilliant. More than enough.
Good enough, no?
Good enough. Let's run this survey.
Yeah.
Then find out.
Okay.
If ChatGPT could do a survey for us, this is really, really good. Oh, how much time it says?
Wonderful.
Okay.
This is really.
I think we should encourage students to do ChatGPT and generate surveys.
True.
And we have a BDM project.
Yeah.
Maybe they can apply ChatGPT, generate surveys, go run it, get the responses and use it in the project. It will be a very useful learning.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. End of segment.